Moscow has fallen, and the game is over. The, the veteran's successful conquest of Europe and has culminated with the final battle for Moscow, and yeah, he masterfully, well, he beat me in France with his early war strategy of invading Switzerland and then continuing on with using his second impulse to take Paris. Took He also invaded Poland in the same turn, and eventually then he tried to invade the UK. He was foiled in that regard, but then when he was attacked by a 5-star general in the Soviet Union, he turned his full fury against them, and he has now captured Moscow. Yeah, it was a good game, my first YouTube Wars and my first game as the British Commonwealth, and I very much enjoyed it. I Yeah, it was a great big learning experience for me. Biggest thing I learned, just pure rules wise, was anti-submarine warfare. I had a gross misunderstanding of it, and I'm glad that I have been enlightened and will not make the same mistakes in future games. I thought it was far easier to kill subs and I hadn't prepared, which left me very vulnerable, and I lost a lot of money, many an IPP, to German submarines. I finally managed to get rid of them just as the Americans came and my technologies of radar and anti-submarine warfare came into effect. But yeah, by that point the Germans' full fury was into Russia anyway. Yeah, the game, I don't know, it seemed fairly balanced for a while. It hung in the balance, and after the fall of Transcaucasia for me, it was obvious that the game was over. With Turkey aligned and $5 plus $2 bonus, and from there on German forces got into Iraq and other places. It was after the fall of Transcaucasia that was where I really saw that the game was over. Yeah, so well played to the veteran is Germany, and in Italy he kept me bottled up. Well, I kept him bottled up, but most of my attempts to defeat him were foiled either by good play by him or in other cases by bad dice by me. All of my desert offensives in North Africa had awful dice, and for example in the one attack in Tunisia near the end of the game, I think this was the second attack by Free France, they got 1 hit, sorry, in the attack on Tunisia, while according to average dice they should have gotten 4, and then they would have been able to take the territory if they had gotten 1 more hit, which would have been entirely feasible, but they didn't. A couple of the other desert offensives were also bad, and I only started to gain more momentum in the desert on the last turn, at which point it was of no effect. My victory in this, well, not my victory, but the increase in my power happened coincided with the Americans coming. Yeah. Yeah, the Mediterranean was the one place where the Allies were doing pretty well, I think, by the end of the game. Yeah, it was really fun. I enjoyed it. Veteran played well, very well with Germany and Italy. Masterful game. The Soviet Union played well. Kept the they kept the Germans at bay for, I think the war started in 1940 for 7 or 8 rounds. Don't quote me on that, but about that. despite the fact that their economy was much lower than that of Germany. And yeah, America came in a bit late to do that much. Yeah, our our plans were somewhat foiled by at the end with what happened at Paris, but at that point it was too late. It wouldn't have changed the result of the game, I believe. In the Pacific, yeah, well played by Japan, and well played by you, Major Foe. I think the Americans, well, by the time that they lost their entire fleet and they were a bit busy up here, retaking back um, the American coast. By the time, yeah, there wasn't that much that America could really do to halt Japan. They put a lot of focus into Europe, which they kind of, well, yeah, wasn't enough to stop the Japanese. Yeah, on my last turn, I thought I'd give people what they wanted as FEC, and so I attacked the Japanese army here, and even though it was a massacre, it was fun. Yeah, if the game had been continuing, if there had been a different situation in Europe, I definitely wouldn't have done that attack. When I rolled it out, I had a 1 in 5 chance of winning, and it could have been even lower than that, but yeah, I just thought it would be fun, and so I did. Yeah. Yeah, the Japanese, I think, they were quite helped by the fact that well, that they were successful in China. I think the big thing that made them be so successful in China, well, one of the big things was the fact that CCP got Yunnan due to the house rules that we were playing with. I don't think I'd play with those house rules again. But because CCP got Yunnan, KMT had to attack it, and they lost, I don't remember how many units liberating it from CCP, but they lost several and killed 4 militia and 2 infantry, which weakened the defense of KMT and CCP in general. And even though CCP ended up still alive at the end, the Japanese really dominated in China's game. It was also well played by Crooked Leg, of course. He played an excellent game in China. He invaded Russia at the right time, and yeah, he took out this area well and kept America at bay. I really, I when he kept bringing his fleet to Sea Zone 88, I was always preparing for him to invade the Dutch, but he never did. So yeah, that was quite interesting. I had thought he would, but turns out he didn't really need to. The Axis still won, and they played an excellent game. So congratulations to you both, and well played to the 5-star general and my ally, Major Foe. Yeah, they're all great guys, all of the players, and yeah, it's been a privilege playing with them. I very much enjoyed it. Yeah, so thank you for playing. It was a good game. Yeah. So now I'll just give a brief channel update. I'm getting involved in another YouTube Wars, Operation Last Chance. It's going to be probably the last V3 YouTube Wars. I'll release an introduction video on that when we've got it all sorted and when my fellow players have made their YouTube channels. A couple of them are new. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be great fun. And yeah, well, I'll catch you in that introduction video, and yeah, thanks for watching.